Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening. If I could ask, can we please come up a little further? We like to keep things personal. That's how we do it at the high school. Please come up a little bit so we could definitely be engaged. We could see you. We could read your body language, your expression. If you have questions, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening once again. I am so fortunate to call myself the principal of the Westbury High School. We thank you for being here tonight as we speak upon a goal, an initiative that the Westbury Union Free School District has embarked upon. That is to be an international baccalaureate school. I'd like to thank our Board of Education. Our Board of Education president is here, Mr. Troiano. Our superintendent, Dr. Chase, for all their support as we're on this journey. And two very important people here tonight to speak to you. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Brendan Gallivan, our Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Curriculum Instruction, and Ms. Vitrelli, who is our International Baccalaureate Coordinator.
Hello, guys.
And they are going to inform you of something that is outstanding that's coming our way soon. Without further ado, Mr. Gallivan. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Zimler. I couldn't be more excited to be here. And I wanted to, I also wanted to begin with thank yous. So I also wanted to begin with some thank yous, and of course, acknowledging Mr. Troiano, appreciate you being here, and as always, appreciate the board's vision and support of these projects, as well as Dr. Chase, your ongoing support for these initiatives that are bringing wonderful things to our district. I also would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the amazing leadership team at the high school for all they're doing. When IB was a whisper, they picked it up and they ran with it. So much praise and thank you to our high school team. And we're going to talk more about what it's taking, what we're undertaking to become an international baccalaureate school in a little bit. But I want you to know that the teachers that have undergone training and begun a lot of deep thinking about this program, they are an astonishing, dynamic, knowledgeable group who is, it's an honor and a pleasure to work with such a think tank, such a brain trust, who's putting together an international baccalaureate diploma program to bring global learning and international and global perspectives to your children. So before we dive into the presentation, I have to tell you, you're going to learn about what exactly the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program is. But just a little word about the International Baccalaureate Organization. Just a little history, 2 seconds of history. So the International Baccalaureate Organization began in Geneva, Switzerland, and their mission at that time was they wanted to address a need of primarily diplomats and other people that were moving from country to country to give them an opportunity for the children to earn an internationally recognized diploma. It started out in 10 places, primarily in Europe, in the late 60s, and today there are approximately 3,000 IB schools across 140 countries and territories. Our work, our joy, our honor is to bring this international program to our scholars here in Westbury. And to kick off our presentation, I will hand the baton to Ms. Vitrelli, our International Baccalaureate Diploma Board.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Ms. Vitrelli. Here at the high school, I am a health education teacher. I've been in the district for about 15 years. I'm excited to say that this is my most favorite job besides being a mom of 2 children. But it's something that I'm super passionate about. And something that I am looking forward to is the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, which, pending authorization, we are starting with our first cohort of 10th graders this September. So, little housekeeping things before we get started. Please make sure that you sign in either via the QR code that's up there, or there is actually paper in the back. If you guys signed in the paper in the back, you're absolutely fine. But if you would like to sign in via the QR code, you're more than welcome to do that too. We're just looking for your email address, phone numbers, so that we can contact you, call you, put you guys on an email list to definitely keep you guys informed. Furthermore, at the end of the presentation, we are going to give our students access to our International Baccalaureate Google Classroom, and then we are also going to give parents access to a Remind, if you're familiar with the Remind application. That is something where we can kind of text back and forth so that we're keeping in communication throughout the whole entire process. Before we also get started, the meeting is going to be live streamed. So it is on the internet right now, so if you want to text your best friend and tell them that we're live streaming it so they can listen in also and get information, we are live streaming this, and it'll also be recorded so that you guys can go back and look at the information that we are presenting for this evening. Last but not least, we know that our community is very diverse. We have many different languages being presented here within the community. So we are using Wordly this evening for translation. For those of you who are home on the live stream, you can go over to the chat box, and the Wordly link is there. You can click on it, pick the language, and you will have access to the translation. Please recognize that this is through AI, so as we're experimenting with AI, it is going to pick up our language, and it's a program that learns, because AI is always a program that learns. And last but not least, my favorite quote by Nelson Mandela as we go into our Black History Month is, "Education is the most powerful tool which can change the world." And through the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, and through being an IB World School in September, fingers crossed, we are hoping to change the world, student by student, as we graduate them. So, this slide is my favorite. September 2024. That's when we're going to have a big party, because we are starting with our 10th grade cohort here at the high school. So our first cohort will be our 10th graders. Our second cohort will be our 9th graders, and so on and so forth. So we are hoping to reach everybody for this meeting. A couple of people that we want to introduce. I know Dr. Tahira Chase is here. She is our superintendent of schools. Woohoo! We also have Mr. Brendan Gallivan, just some formal introductions, assistant superintendent for secondary curriculum and instruction. Ms. Deidre Faulkner could not be here this evening, but she is our guidance, our head of guidance for the whole district. She is a vital part to this program, and I want to thank her for all her support and encouragement through this. And the school counseling team is on that side, and those are who will be working with your students here at the high school. I also want to thank and welcome Mr. Zimbler, my amazing high school principal, Mr. Reginald Ward, my backbone. But he's here as well, Dr. Paul Pellog. He is over there too. We also have Dr. Cherise Pemberton, another assistant principal, and myself. And then on the other side, a couple of people who you'll hear from tonight just via video is Dr. Nicolette James, our CAS coordinator. Ms. Amy Kahn, she's our extended essay coordinator. Mr. Michael Volante, he is here as well. He is our TOK teacher, which you'll hear about. And then also our school librarian. She is going to be a vital part of each one of your scholars' success in the IB program. Also, the IB team of teachers.
Just want to mention, so why wouldn't we list the teachers who are going to be leading this work and working intimately with our scholars? Because in the very near future, April 16th, we'll have a Meet the IB Teachers Night, where we'll have an opportunity to really get to know the folks who will be an integral part of this program and bringing this kind of education to students. And as Ms. Petrelli keeps saying, and we'll repeat, there will be multiple opportunities for our community to get information about the program. This is just kind of our coming out party in a sense. So we'll have many opportunities to provide you with information and to get information through a format like this and other forums.
All right, so how does this work and where are we now? So this is a program that doesn't just get handed to us. This is something that we have been in the process for 2 years, and that is important to recognize. The process started off where we had to put in an application in order to get into the program. They had to look at our demographics, look at everything, and and also consider us. So then after that, we went into the request for candidacy. We were considered. We went into our request for candidacy where we filled out an application. And after that, we then went into a consultation process where we had a consultant assigned to us. And she went through the whole entire process with us. She came and visited our school. And then after that, we requested authorization, which was another formal application. And we are currently awaiting our verification visit, where a team basically a verification team from the International Baccalaureate Organization will come in, and they will come and visit us on February 29th and March 1st. They are going to be speaking with scholars, with our teachers, with our admin, with our board. They're going to be speaking with parents. They're going to be speaking with students as well, so that's super important for us and a huge step. About a month or two after that, we will then find out whether we are authorized, and we will go from there. Every 5 years, it's important to note, we are part of the International Baccalaureate Organization, so therefore we will do a 5-year review. Every 5 years, we have to do a review. They come into our building, they review, make sure that we're held to those higher standards and practices, which is super important. That's our verification team. We have Charles Chamberlain. He is actually coming from all the way on the other part, from Washington, correct? Where is he coming from? From Oregon. From Oregon. And then Joy is actually coming from Washington, D.C. I apologize, I confused the two. So Joy is coming from Washington and Charles is coming from Oregon. This is our journey. It's important to note that this is our dragon journey to world-class status. So we first started off in 2021, which was way back 2 years ago, almost 3. Our next step, we trained a team of administrators. The IBO actually came to us here in Westbury, and they trained a team of administrators. It was about 7 administrators?
Yeah. 8 or 9. We trained the whole team, including our superintendent, Dr. Chase. And this particular journey started 2.5 years ago, but I also want to state before we get into exactly what the International Baccalaureate Program is, I've met community members who've kind of had this idea in their hearts for 10 years, 15 years. So this is part of our work. There are people that have been thinking about this for a long time, and we're honoring these people who have dedicated a lot of positive energy to our district and to our community. And so continuing on the journey, part of it was getting all the things in order that we need to get in order, including training our team of IB teachers. So in order to offer an IB course, that teacher has to receive specific International Baccalaureate training from the IBO, the International Baccalaureate Organization. And we train 18 teachers, and we will continue to train as necessary. As a result of their training, they've written course outlines for the courses they will teach. We'll continue doing curriculum work heading into the fall.
So this is our process. I know we went through some of it, but just a couple of important dates and mile marks that we met on September 14th and 15th. We did have our consultation visit. Soon after that, we were able to submit our application for authorization, which was October 30th. And then on February 29th and March 1st is our verification visit where they do come in. We're pending an April 2024 notice whether we will be authorized, and that's where we are.
So, firstly, we have to admit that we are kind of an international community right now, and it makes sense that our mission statement, mission and vision statements for our district would already overlap with the mission and vision statements of the International Baccalaureate. So these are our mission and vision statements here in Westbury Union Free School District to promote academic excellence, social development, emotional growth of our students as lifelong learners who will contribute to an ever-changing world and global society. And our vision is to create an empowering, collaborative, and supportive learning environment that promotes maximum success for all of our students. And if we look at the International Baccalaureate mission statement, and I won't read the whole thing here, but I think you'll sense that it overlaps quite nicely. So the IB mission statement is, the International Baccalaureate Organization aims to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people who help to create a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. These programs encourage students across the world to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners who understand that other people, with their differences, can also be right. This is the kind of learner, this is the kind of person we want to cultivate, to take meaningful roles in our communities, and to be compassionate and focused and caring stewards of our planet and contributors to local and global communities.
We're going to play this video for you guys, but just a couple of notes. On Long Island, if I'm correct, I think there's 127 public school districts. We are going to be one of 10 school districts on Long Island to offer the DP program. So that is a huge mile mark. When you look at 125, 127 school districts on Long Island, we're going to be one of 10. And that's a huge mile mark for us here at Westbury and for you guys as a community. So right now I'm just going to go as an overview of what is an IB education. So I'll play this video for you guys.
For over 40 years, an international baccalaureate education has been helping people cross the boundaries that separate languages, countries, and cultures. Today, the IB continues that tradition, providing a continuum of international education that features 4 high-quality programs for students from 3 to 19 years old. In a rapidly changing world, IB programs aim to develop intercultural understanding and respect, a mission reflected in 10 core values. The IB Learner Profile describes the attributes of people who are empowered to help create a better and more peaceful world. As IB learners, we strive to be inquirers, curious, enthusiastic, lifelong learners who ask powerful questions, knowledgeable, exploring locally and globally significant ideas, thinkers, critical, creative, ethical decision makers, communicators, good listeners, confident in more than one language, principled, honest, fair, and responsible, open-minded, developing critical appreciation for our own cultures and the cultures of others, caring, committed to service with the community, risk takers, courageous, resourceful, and resilient, balanced, focused on well-being for ourselves and those around us, reflective, thoughtful, realistic, and hopeful for the future. At the heart of an IB education are passionate, lifelong learners who believe that how you learn and what you're learning is as important as what you study in school. Students are at the center of IB programs, internationally minded people who recognize their common humanity and shared guardianship of the planet. An IB education means opportunities to develop healthy relationships, imagination, and ethical reasoning. It means building the confidence and persistence students need to achieve challenging goals. It means learning what it is to be human and how to thrive in a complex world. IB learners work together to turn experience into understanding. As they learn how to learn and how to manage their own learning, IB students are supported by assessment, a variety of strategies through which teachers help them understand how they're doing and how they can keep doing better. An IB education helps students build understanding through inquiry, action, and reflection. Students learn by doing, connecting the classroom with the world beyond. IB programs culminate in exhibitions, projects, and independent research that demonstrate not only what students know, but also what they can do. An IB education creates learning communities in which students can increase their understanding of language and culture, and which can help them to become more globally engaged. Through IB programs, students explore how to face both local and global challenges that involve the environment, development, conflict, rights, cooperation, and governance. The IB's courses and curriculum frameworks are engaging, relevant, challenging, and significant. In IB programs, students students learn content that is worth knowing and that can help them make a difference. An IB education spans traditional academic disciplines and pushes students to make connections across many fields of study. IB programs are broad and balanced, conceptual and connected. Their rigorous models of assessment have earned widespread respect, including recognition of the IB diploma as an international university entrance qualification. The IB represents an independent, worldwide community of educators who are committed to excellence. Thousands of creative IB World schools collaborate to connect high ideals with the day-to-day details of teaching and learning. They hold each other mutually accountable to standards and practices that define high-quality educational programs. What makes an IB education unique? Alumni, educators, supporters, and more than 1 million students and their families every year, working together to make a better world through education.
So the idea of the video is to show you guys that this is a whole child process. This is developing the whole child on an international level. So really quick, why IB here at Westbury High School? Because we want the best for our students here at Westbury High School. We want them to compete in the global world. We want them to go on to university with credits already in their pocket, ready to go. We want global citizens who make our world a better place to live. What makes the International Baccalaureate Diploma program so challenging, well, so special for our students here at Westbury High School? Because it's challenging. It's rigorous. It's a program that asks challenging questions. It teaches them hands-on, to be hands-on with their learning, and teaches them to think differently through those learner profile traits that you just heard. Why should I take IBDP courses? Because we told you to. No, absolutely not. We want you guys to have an opportunity to learn differently. We want you guys to have the opportunity to be more challenged. We want our scholars here at Westbury to reach that world-class status and to be able to compete in this global world. We need to up our level so that our students can go out into the world and show them what Westbury is made of here. Most importantly, they get to drive their own learning. What's really cool, you're going to hear on the next slide, they get to drive which pathway they want. If they want to go towards nursing, they can go towards nursing, and there's programs for them. If they want to go towards business management, there's a business management to take them that route. If they want to go towards music and the arts, there's a route to take them that way. So we are truly creating a whole child here. All right, so the IB Diploma Program. Now I'm super excited to tell you guys what it's all about. We kind of gave you the background, the history, why here at Westbury, and now to get to the program. So this may not make sense right now, but give us till the next slide to bring it all back together. So first things first, there are 2 different pathways you can take with IB here at Westbury High School. You can either go the IB Experience route, or you can go the full IB Diploma. So you will hear both. You will hear the IB Experience and you will hear the IB Diploma. We're going to first do the IB Diploma so that we can help everybody understand that. So for the IBDP, that is the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, it is offered to all juniors and seniors in their high school junior and senior year. They put an age on it because obviously we're working on an international level, but it is for juniors and seniors. Students are going to take 1 course in each of the 6 groups. Like I said, that may not make sense now, but it'll make sense in the next slide. They are then, for the full DP, going to have to take 3 different core classes. One of them is a Theory of Knowledge course, another one is an extended essay, and the last one is Creativity, Activity, and Service, and that is more of a community service-based course that they will take. This here is our wheel. It kind of describes the different courses. I have it in a chart for you guys to better understand it. Also, if you are interested in more material on this, on your way out, there are pamphlets there, and there are more up here as well to get more information, to take some stuff home with you guys. Now, this is where we get into the nuts and bolts. So we have over 35 course offerings to choose from. So out of the gate, we started with these course offerings. So when we talk about the International Baccalaureate Program, there's 6 groups on the left-hand side. Each group is assigned a category. So for instance, Group 1 is Studies in Language and Literature. That's our English class. We have Group 2, which is our Language Acquisition. That is our French, our Spanish classes. Those are our language classes. You have group 3, which is our individuals and societies. That is our social studies classes. They also put business management in that group as well. You have your group 4 courses, which is our sciences. So that's our sciences here as well. You have your group 5, which is mathematics, and your group 6, which is the arts. As for course offerings, you will see at the top, there are 2 different levels. There's higher level and standard level. The International Baccalaureate asks all students who are seeking a full diploma to take at least 3 higher level courses and 3 standard level courses, right? So they can take 4 higher level courses if they choose, and 2 standard level courses. But they have to take 1 course in each one of those 6 areas. If you would like to take a picture of this, you're more than welcome to. The first one, students will be mandated to take language and literature if at the higher level, if they are going that route for the full IBDP. They will then get to choose their language based off of obviously what they've done their freshman and sophomore year. So if they're on the Spanish track, they'll do the Spanish at the higher level. If they're on the French track, they'll do the French at the standard level. The next group is our individuals and societies. They will take history at the HL level. That is a course that we are going to ask all students to take. The business management, I'm going to explain where that's going to come in a moment, but that's also another offering. For the sciences, they can choose chemistry or environmental systems and societies, or they can choose both. And again, give me 1 minute and we'll explain that. And they are going to take mathematics, the applications and interpretations at the standard level. That is a mandated course for the DP. And then on the bottom, they can choose an arts at the higher level or standard level, depending on what they need to fulfill the requirements of 3 higher level and 3 standard level. One quick note, remember how I said that we're designing our own pathways with IB? Well, IB states you do not need to take a group 6 if you don't want to. If you're going towards the nursing route, you may want to do chemistry and environmental systems and societies. If you're going towards the science pathway. If you're going towards the business management, you want to open your own business, or maybe you want to do international business, whichever you would like to do, you may want to say, I'm not going to do group 6, I'm going to do actually history and business management. And you can choose your pathway that way. As we continue to grow this program, we are going to grow our course offerings and train more teachers. That is our goal. Our end goal is to have every 11th and 12th grader taking at least 1 IB course. And that is why we have the IB experience as well, which we will go into. On the bottom, other mandated components. If you are a full DP student, you are then going to take a theory of knowledge class that Mr. Volanti is going to be teaching. He will speak about that in a moment. Creativity, activity, and service, that is our community service portion. And then the extended essay, which we will show you a quick clip on, and that is a 4,000-word essay. Hold your breath, it's over 2 years, so you're good. I know a lot of people are like, 4,000 words, this is crazy. But it is something that all of you are capable of doing.
And just, again, to repeat, all the courses are offered over 2 years. All the requirements are accomplished over 2 years. And a quick word, the difference between higher level and standard level is basically the level of assignments. Sometimes there are additional tasks, increased depth in some of the higher level courses. So it's, but all of the courses are 2-year courses of study, and there are advantages of that too that we may touch on a little bit later.
So, theory of knowledge. This is a course that is going to be taught by Mr. Volanti. This is actually a course. The CAS, which is another core component, and the extended essay are not courses. They are actually components aside from your regular course load. So, Mr. Volanti, do you want to speak to theory of knowledge for a moment? Everyone welcome Mr. Volanti.
Thank you very much. When I had the opportunity to teach this course, it was, I'll be honest with you, it was kind of a dream come true. I've been teaching now English for I'm in my 26th year. And I've always wanted to teach a class where I can bring in other subjects, every subject. I always wanted to teach a high school class as though I was an elementary school teacher, where we were working on everything and open our minds to all of it. I went to school initially for physics and engineering. So my background is in science and mathematics. I was always interested and loved literature. I loved theater. I was on stage many times in college and afterwards as a stand-up comedian. Most of my students will tell me that I'm not funny at all because I'm not in class.
I think you're fine.
Well, thank you. But I have a very eclectic background, and to be able to bring it into one room and then teach students how to look at knowledge, how we know it, what we think we know, why we know it, and then what are the biases between how that knowledge was acquired and brought to us. Do we have personal biases within our own communities, within our own cultures, that as that knowledge comes to us, does it change, does it shift, do we see it differently? Why do we see it differently? So from every literal standpoint, we're going to attack it from technology, another little caveat of mine. So we'll attack it from technology, from language, from social studies, from psychology, from every aspect. How do we incorporate the knowledge that we've learned, and how do we understand how we've learned it, how it's been brought to us? Where did it come from? It sounds kind of esoteric. It's a little outside of a simple realm. The more classes that I've taken, the more people that I've spoken about, the more down the rabbit hole I've gone. And sometimes we all stand around and look at each other as we're discussing it and saying, okay, we got to pull out for a second, right? And just where have we come from? Where are we going to with this? And where are we right now? Right? So the theory of knowledge is a base class for a reason. I want to get our students, our community, to start to think a little bit differently, right? Question. I want them to question their personal morals. I want them to question their personal belief system. That is not what this is about. I'm not going to turn them on their ear and send you back a child who looks at you and says, I don't believe anything that you've ever taught me. That is not what talk is. And if that is the case, then I'm doing the wrong job. Okay? What I'm asking them to do, what I want them to do on their own, is to just simply question why. With everything that comes around. Why? And when that happens, they then have to pursue the answers. Well then, they're creating their own coursework. And that's what will happen in talk. They'll question, and through those questioning techniques, they'll start to learn about themselves, their community, the knowledge that they have, the knowledge the world has. And in such a time right now as we're engaging in sorry to go off on a tangent to be honest with you, but we're engaging in research right now in English class. And as we're going into research, we're talking about AI and what that does. How do we know what is real? In a world where fake news is rampant, that I can write an article that is completely false. It can be picked up by somebody around the world in a matter of seconds through the internet. They can then republish that. And I can cite them later on in my article as the resource for mine, and they can then cite my resource as theirs. And both of it was made up. But it makes it seem more realistic, more believable. And that's the world that our children are growing up in. And sometimes I stay up at night thinking about that. How are they going to understand what is real? What is truth versus fact? And they are different. And how do we get to that point? So before I continue and actually give you guys the entire course, I'm going to say thank you very much for the opportunity. I can't wait. I hope that all of your children and all of the children in the community strive to get into this program as quickly as they possibly can, because we need to build that within our community and from the ground up with our children. And thank you for the opportunity to speak. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted so the ability to discern and the ability to make connections, that's part of our work. Zooming away from IB for a second, the reason we talk about STEAM programs, the reason we talk about IB as a program, is because we want to be able to think critically across disciplines, interdisciplinarily, and transdisciplinarily. We want to bring the knowing from one area to another area to inform even deeper, better, greater, more creative thought. So if we're doing our jobs correctly in all of our classes, there is some aspect of interconnectivity and being able to discern what's helpful, useful knowledge from what isn't.
Thank you, Mike. I really, truly appreciate it. He just went to a Gibbs concert, a Gibbs conference, let me repeat myself, and they had the founder of TOK there. And it was a mind-blowing conference that she was getting them, all the teachers together and just having them talk on an international level, asking certain questions, wondering why. For more information on the TOK course, we do have more pamphlets up here if you guys would like at the end for TOK and for CAS, and also for extended essay. Extended essay, this is a video from Miss Amy Kahn. She is our extended essay coordinator. She is going to be supported by our research librarian, Miss Linda Grasafi. So most of you should know Linda Grasafi if you're up at the high school, and she will explain the extended essay.
Good evening, families. My name is Amy Kahn. I am an English teacher at the Westbury High School English Department. I will be serving as the extended essay coordinator for Westbury High School's International Baccalaureate program. The extended essay is one of the 3 required components to earn the IB diploma distinction. What is the extended essay? It is a 4,000-word paper that students write with the guidance and support of an individual supervisor and myself. Writing this paper is a very heavy process, but your student will have all the support that he or she needs to get through it. Completing this paper was designed especially to prepare students for college-level study. I look forward to learning and writing with you all.
So Amy could not be here with us this evening, but she wanted to give you her words of encouragement. One thing that's interesting about the extended essay is that you get to do it on a topic of your choice. So if you're interested in biomechanics, if you're interested in chemistry, if you write an outrageous paper or something that you are so interested through your studies in the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, you can take that paper and drive it towards your extended essay, which is really cool as well. So as you're researching in every single class and gathering more information and becoming more passionate about different pathways through the IB program, you can take that information and you can then drive it into your extended essay, which is a process. There's 3 different meetings that you have with your advisor, and she is going to be coordinating the whole program. So that's something super interesting.
Once again, it's a piece of work that happens over the course of 2 years, and there will be built-in supports, both library meeting specialist support, advisor support. So a child will be guided and supported, our scholars will be guided, your children will be guided and supported throughout this process.
Our next, let's see, it might be frozen. Our next portion is the CAS, which is our Creativity, Activity, and Service.
Good evening, families. My name is Amy.
There we go. And this is by Dr. James. Dr. James is an English teacher, and also she is the director of, well, I should say the chairperson of the English department here at the high school. She is also our SEL coordinator here at the high school as well. So she is going to speak to you guys about creativity, activity, and service.
Greetings. My name is Dr. James. I am the chairperson of the English department, as well as the coordinator of the Creativity, Activity, and Service component of the IB Diploma Program, otherwise known as CAS. The main purpose of the CAS component is to develop our learners academically, personally, and socially by engaging in activities that many of them are already actively engaged in, such as sports, the arts, music, and community service. The CAS component encourages scholars to be well-rounded individuals who are active, creative, globally minded, and socially responsible. It also emphasizes the importance of reflecting on these experiences to gain a deeper understanding of themselves as well as the world. Overall, CAS aims to foster personal growth, a sense of community, and a commitment to making a positive difference in the community. I look forward to meeting and working with all of our scholars and their families on their journey to scholastic success.
So that is our Creativity, Activity, Service. This is not a class, this is a separate component. I also just wanted to, on a side note, before we get into the rest of the program, we do have a teacher here at the high school who made a surprise visit. Her name is Miss Fernandez. She is a social studies teacher here. And she has been through the whole entire IB diploma program process at her school and graduated with an IBDP. So I'm going to allow her to speak to you for a minute or two, just in regards to her experience with the IBDP, so that you guys can hear it straight from her. So Ms. Fernandez.
Hi, I'm Ms. Fernandez. I teach social studies here at the high school, and I did do the entire IB diploma program as a high school student. It's been a little bit over 10 years, so my memory's not the sharpest with my high school experience, but it was very typical. I did engage in sports, activities. It didn't hinder any extracurricular activities at all. In fact, it actually kind of like fostered them just because I was able to use that towards the CAS, which was great. As far as like my major takeaways with the program, first of all, I was able to get college credits, which was amazing, and I actually attended like 4 different universities, all 4 of which accepted the credits, so that was great. And also the fact that it just kind of focuses on those traits, those learner traits. We really like kind of shed light on how important that is as far as like, you know, several different career paths and just college in general. I remember actually we had awards for each trait that they would give out every month. I don't know if that was part of the plan. Yeah. So I remember winning the Balance Award once, which was awesome. And other than that, I think that's really it. I mean, does anybody have any questions for me? As somebody who went through the program? No?
Anybody have any questions?
I will say Theory of Knowledge was my absolute favorite class. I looked forward to going to that class every single day. It generated awesome conversations with my peers and my teacher, and that was definitely like one of my favorite parts of the entire program. It just makes you think in a way that I guess high schoolers don't generally think. You know, talking about knowledge, how we know what we know, and that was definitely probably one of my most memorable parts of the IB program, the IB diploma program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. What school did you attend? Comac.
The college.
Okay, here we go. First I went to the University of Delaware right out of high school, and then I ended up transferring to community college, so I was at Suffolk, and then I ended up getting my degree at Stony Brook, and then I went to grad school at Hofstra. Yeah, so all of those universities accepted the IB credit, which was great.
I'm curious to know which schools, like, that program is geared towards, and which college accepted, so that when she gets in, you know that for sure that all these programs is run towards will apply.
So what's really interesting is if you go on the IBO website, it's constantly flexing and changing. But if you do go on the IBO website, it's www.ibo.org. There is a list of colleges and universities you can look up by country. It narrows it down by country first, then by state, and then you can go in and it has a list of all the colleges that do accept the credits. Please recognize that every couple of months this list does grow and it flexes and changes, so something that you're going to need to be constantly looking at. But I know all of the SUNYs for New York are on there 100%. I looked at it, I think yesterday, if I'm correct, I looked at it because I'm constantly looking at those individual, colleges to see who offers what. But you can narrow it down by state, and it'll tell you what colleges for sure that offer it.
And it's a constantly evolving list. So as part of your due diligence when you're thinking about colleges, it's helpful to ask that university, but the overwhelming majority accept IB credits. Commensurate with the grade, sometimes there's a grade qualification. And the SUNY schools, the majority of the SUNY schools, and I'm speaking as a father of a diploma program graduate, my daughter went to one of the SUNY schools. She graduated IB diploma program, and she received 30 credits. In other words, a whole year of college.
That's good to know. Thank you. Question? Is this in addition to the AP courses, or is this replacing them? What have they fit?
This is in addition to, because we want to offer our scholars the most amount of opportunities at the high school. So this is separate from that. Both have its benefits. The IB courses are 2-year courses, the AP courses are 1-year course, but you can do a mix of both if you so choose. So we're going to go over the IB experience right now, where students are able to go in and select any 1 or 2 or 3, or they can do all 6 areas if they so choose. If they want to do 2 IB courses with 2 AP courses, they're more than welcome to mix and merge them.
So this is a nice segue, thank you, because we really are interested in meeting our scholars' needs, our families' needs in terms of how we imagine their pathways as they go through school. And you know, there is value to earning a full diploma. There is value to taking multiple courses and understanding the interplay of the courses. And there's also something that that is kind of the aspect of the program that's near and dear to my heart is what we're calling in Westbury IB Experience. It's our hope that all of our children will graduate having taken at least one IB course, because we want all of our students to leave Westbury High School when they go on to whatever their future endeavors may be, to have had this experience with globally minded education, this experience with IB courses. So, and just an interesting thing to note, since we're talking about how students fare when they get to university, more and more there are studies being done that indicate that it's not necessarily the great grade earned in a challenging, interesting course. It's the experience and the perseverance and the understanding, the learning about yourself, that you can persevere through these interesting and challenging experiences that get you ready for, you know, your next challenge in life, whether that's university or elsewhere. So just again, so IB diploma, that's a choice. And of course, life is about choices. So if you choose something, you're deselecting something else. So if you choose the full International Baccalaureate Diploma program, you're really choosing a full course load of IB courses. And just to summarize what that means, you're taking 6 IB courses, you're taking a theory of knowledge course, you're committing to doing the extended essay, and you're committed to doing creativity activity service, which is, as Dr. James just explained, reflecting on what you do in terms of sports. So if you're already playing soccer, what you do in terms of the arts potentially, your interest in theater. And this is a wonderful community where there's a lot of service going on, and our students are heavily involved, deeply involved in service already. So another aspect of the International Baccalaureate Program diploma that we haven't mentioned is they want to get a feel for the student outside of the classroom too. That's why this, what's called the CAS element, exists. So again, you can take individual IB courses per your interest, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can aspire to take the full IB diploma. Sir?
For the CAS curriculum program section, will they help match the students with organization for community and activities, or they have to find it on their own?
They'll be supported. So CAS and the extended essay happen outside the classroom. There isn't a physical class, but they'll have mentors, and Dr. James, who's running the CAS program, oversees connecting students with different activities, but students are already connected. So if you have a child who's been playing soccer since, you know, they're 8 years old, that's part of the activity component, potentially part of the activity component of CAS. And if Mr. Zimmer could talk for 30 minutes on all the service opportunities we have right now in Westbury, the Westbury High School. So there are so many great opportunities for our children to build character, build themselves physically, build themselves mentally.
Just to speak to that really quick, I know in my room down the hall, I actually do 3 separate things. So I host the Thanksgiving Day food drive in conjunction with Mr. Warren and the rest of the admin team here at the high school. We get local outside organizations, plus all of our teachers donate money, and we give over 75 families in our Westbury community food for the Thanksgiving holiday. We go and hand deliver them to every single home. A full turkey. That's also, we work with, it's New York City Corrections Benevolent Association as well. It's called COVA. We work with them as well, and we all go together and we deliver to the community, and it's an amazing thing. We also host a actually a clothing closet in my room, so we're looking for students to take that over as well. I do have students who currently come in and they fold all the clothes, and the kids can come, and I actually have kids who are donating clothes as well. So we have kids who are taking and students who are also donating as well, and we have the food pantry as well. So we have a lot of outside organizations, partnerships with outside organizations, so the students will be connected with that as well, which is a huge piece. So yeah, we definitely will have a lot of support for them, a lot of need. So just to stress this really quick, Again, the IB experience is a huge part. Our goal, our main goal is IB for all. That means we want every single student in junior and senior year to take at least one IB course. Whether they take theory of knowledge, whether they take only an English course, whether they're proficient in Spanish and they want to go do Spanish at the higher level and they just want to take that course, or maybe they're an art student and they love to play in the bands and they want to do band music at the HL, or if they want to explore visual arts and maybe they're artsy and they love to draw, there is an opportunity for each one of our scholars here at the high school to earn IB credits and earn college credits. So it's a huge opportunity. I want to stress the importance of that. IB Learner Profile. This is our well-rounded student. What's very interesting is if you look at risk takers, they are actually going to change that. They did not like the words. They're going to change that to courageous, which is a very interesting choice. So that change should be coming. Again, the IB is constantly reevaluating themselves. They're constantly changing the courses. My environmental systems and societies teacher actually had to go to training again because they revamped the whole entire course. They're starting to do project-based courses. So instead of a lot of essay writing and things like that, they're starting to do more project-based learning through the IB. So that's another interesting component that's coming about. But this is the IB Learner Profile, and this is just our values and our core. And we're going to link this with our SEL, with our social emotional learning here at the high school. So I don't know if everybody notices, but on the perimeter of the high school, and every single month we have different SEL themes. So within these SEL themes, we are going to tie in the IB Learner Profile into that, so our students can also be well-rounded in the IB and also as a whole school community.
So I would also add that these traits are, and I just want to read them to you and then make a comment. And these are the traits we hope to grow in our students, or continue to grow in our students. We want them to be inquirers, knowledgeable, thinkers, communicators, principled, reflective, balanced, risk-takers, caring, open-minded. I have to say, I've been involved in IB programs in different districts, and when I first became involved in the IB work, either as a father or professionally, because I was so focused on the academic offerings, I thought of this profile kind of like the sprinkles on the donut. This is the whole donut. We're doing this work, we're engaging our students in this kind of thinking and ways of being inside and outside of the class, so that they leave us, they do things outside of school, they become people who are principled, they're thinkers, they're reflexively thinkers, reflexively inquisitive. We aspire, that's the goal of our work. The goal of our work is to create these kinds of human beings to enter responsibly into global communities.
All right, so this is one of my favorite slides. This is what will your child's success story look like? And these are all people who have graduated with IB, DP diplomas, and where they have went off to. So this is just a quick video, just showing all of the different pathways.
Curiosity is a risk key, and as humankind, I think we all have something.
I'd love to empower people to become risk takers.
I would say that a good journalist needs to be curious and inquisitive, really interested in other people. If you're not truly interested in other people, I don't think you're going to become a good journalist.
A lot of my friends, a lot of my former IB friends, they're doing really well in different fields, and I think that's one thing that I'm really grateful for, that there's so much diversity among us, and we still support each other in different ways.
Through IB, I was really inspired to help others and to dedicate my time to serving those who are less fortunate. And I wanted to help women, and that was the most important thing to me. So within 7 months from the first time that I visited Jordan, the Women's Sewing Centre was operational. I'd love to empower them to make connections with the other women at the centre, because I really believe in the power of friendship and the power of support.
You have to respect each other, you have to understand each other. I think I learned that through my 2 years studying international pathology.
where are we going to see Westbury on this map? Each one of you, that's your job to come back and put your mark on that map right there of success. So as we continue, contact information. All of my students know, I have a couple of my students here today. I am accessible all the time. He's shaking his head. You can pop into my room at 7:45 in the morning. I've got my music on. We have a dance party in the morning. But seriously, you guys, please come and visit me, all of you guys. I am reachable by email. My email is up there, kpetrelli@Westbury Schools. I know I received many of your emails between the last couple of days. Please continue to email me. Continue to be an active presence in your child's education. This is super important. This is a huge stepping stone for our Westbury community, for our scholars, for us here. I'm proud of where I work, and I hope that you are all proud of where your students go to school. This is our next stepping stone towards being a world-class district in this ever-changing global world that we are living in. And this is important. Also, I encourage each of the parents here, if you want to be involved, which I hope that you do, there is a remind code. It's at WUFSD. If you put that into the Remind app, you will be added onto my Remind message group. I will literally start getting dings to my watch here. And I always am sending out information. I sent out the information for this meeting this evening, and always sending out information for my students who are here. As long as you have a Westbury Schools email, which you all should, the Google Classroom code is R64XR2V. Please make sure that you join that. As long as you have a Westbury Schools email, you are able to access the Google Classroom, and in there we also post all of the information for the IB. We will have our big reveal. I'm getting them right now, the Remind messages as they're coming through. But please join. I am super, super accessible. I respond back really quick. And I'm truly, 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 from the bottom of my heart, looking forward to starting this IB journey with all of you in September with our first cohort. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Petrelli. And I'll just reiterate that we are all resources. There will be meetings in the future. There will be ongoing ways to get information. We will have, once we are, knock wood, we're accepted as an IB World School, we'll have meetings about specific topics. Additionally, in some districts, the parents form kind of a community of support through which they can share information, because I'm sure it's probably occurred to you, or has already occurred to you in your life with your children, that if they join and become a full diploma program candidate, congratulations, you too have also joined the program to become a full diploma program candidate. It requires considerable support in school and at home. And as I said, where I worked before, I worked in Westbury, parents did sort of form kind of an email chain. But that's a discussion for down the road. We're here as resources, and there will be more information coming in various ways, because we understand that this is quite a lot to take in one sitting. And by the way, thank you for coming out. There are lots of things you can do with your time. We appreciate you being here to learn about this exciting program. I also, I can't help but say this, but I think it says something about the place your children are when the entire leadership team in the high school is sitting right over there. We had teachers who made time to come here and talk to you tonight. We had teachers who wanted to be here so badly that they made short videos to talk to you tonight. So this is a kind of program that's going to welcome, embrace, and support your children through just tremendous different kinds of learning experiences.
And I will take any questions if anybody has. Questions? We'll start back there. So I have been meeting with the students. They've been, besides passing by, we also had a meeting in the little theater. Mr. Harrison is here also. He is the 10th grade counselor. He was trained in IB. All the counselors, every single teacher, everybody who is a part of the IB process has to be trained. So he has been working with me as well, but we are not shutting the program down to anybody. If a student feels as though they would like to attempt to take either the IB experience or the IB diploma program, they are more than welcome to. We are welcoming everybody with open arms. If a student thinks they can, we will embrace that. And we will also encourage our students to take IB courses. The other day I was reading the music guideline, and I was reading the visual art guideline, which is about 80 pages, and I went through and I read each one of them. There's no prerequisites. There's no prerequisites for music and arts. So that is accessible to every single one of our students here at Westbury High School. So my question to my students are, why not? When they say, I can't take IB, well, why not? Every single one of you can take IB. And that's what we're stressing here at the high school. We want it to be truly IB for all. Does that answer your question?
Partially.
Partially? Go ahead.
As far as the language class, is there a limit to the seating of the class? Because there are 1 course or 2 courses or 4 courses, but you know what I mean? As far as if every student wanted to do IB, is there a limit for a class?
No. Well, yes, we have reasonable class size, if that's the question. But if we are surprised, and this actually happened to me in a former life, in a former district, if we're surprised and all of a sudden we need 3 sections of history when right now we have a teacher trained to teach 1 section, we will accommodate to the greatest extent possible our scholars' choices. Now I know we can pivot and flex to that. We'll do everything we can to do that.
We're 100% encouraging all students to do courses. That is something that we're definitely open to. Question over here.
So I think you did answer my question, which was, are there any screening exams before they enter? But you said everyone is welcome to?
Everybody is welcome to do IB. We have the 2 pathways, so we have the IB experience, and we also have the IB DP. So we have both pathways. So if a student, for instance, we have a couple of students who are in French level 3. They may want to go towards the IB route for French. So maybe that student, they will only do IB French. But each student is going to sit down with their school counselor and also have that conversation as well. We're also going to sit down with myself and any of the admin team to have this conversation in regards to what they feel is a right fit for them. Our main goal is to get our students college and career ready, to send them off into this world competitively. So we want our students to be challenged as much as possible to their level.
And our work is to articulate to our 9th graders 4-year pathways. So we think of things as a pathway over time, not just necessarily individual courses. So so they'll receive great advice from folks that are here in the audience, regarding what are purposeful pathways, what are courses that set kids up for success in a specific pathway. There are the only course I would say that requires students will be in better stead, they'll be in a better situation if they take a certain sequence of courses before getting to it is chemistry, because it's helpful to have a certain level of math before you get into a chemistry class. It's not automatically mandated, but it certainly puts you in a better position if you have a certain level of math before you get to chemistry. But we will maintain open enrollment.
And the other idea is, as a district, we want to, the main part is challenging our students. We know that if a student is in a class and they're bored, they're not going to pay attention. So we want to make sure that we get them out of it's called zone of proximal development, but we want to make sure that we get them in that zone of proximal development where they're challenged, not challenged too hard, but where they're challenged to be able to work harder, to be able to persevere towards something. We don't want students to be in classes where they're bored, where they're not challenged, so we want to push them to that next level. And if they think that that next level is IB, I'm all in. I'm all in for them.
For the IB classes, since they're 2-year courses, they have to decide in junior year, not senior year.
They have to actually decide. We're starting the process now with our sophomores. Our sophomores, at the end of last year, they were presented with IB, and a lot of them filled out. I think we had over 80 students interested in either doing an IB experience or the IB DP. So they showed their interest, and we've been connecting with them. We had a big meeting with them. So we started the process actually last year for our 10th graders this year, and now we're continuing with that process. So it's open to any 10th graders, and then they will speak with our guidance counselors, and we're currently in the process of enrolling.
So because the present juniors can't decide.
No, unfortunately, I know.
That's okay.
We're a year late. But no, we're in the process now, and you know, it's great. Maybe they're siblings. So we'll have our 10th graders will be our first cohort, 9th graders, second cohort, and then all the way down. Also, what's interesting is just to throw this out there, IB is actually a continuum. So what happens is there's only one district in all of New York that has the continuum. And what that is it starts at the primary years program, which is kindergarten. So that's a primary years program, then it goes to the middle years program, and then it goes to the DP program. So there's actually a continuum. We're starting off with the DP program to provide our students with college and career pathways towards success, and also for credit for colleges and universities. And we're hoping to trickle back down to MYP and PYP throughout the next 5 to 10 years. So that's our goal. IB district.
So in terms of the college credit,
yeah.
Is it you have to take the full program to get the college credit, or is it credits per class? Like AP, you take classes and some schools will offer you 2 or 3 credits. How does it work?
It's the same way with IB. So IB, if students choose to take the IB experience and they take a French course, and they take the IB exams. IB exams are rated from 1 to 7. So depending on the college, a 4 or a 5, they will give you college credit. But again, it's dependent on each college. And the colleges are listed on the website, but you do get IB credit for each individual class. So one of the biggest pushes we're telling our students is, when you go into college, you have to take all prerequisites your first year anyway. You have to take your social studies, your English, your language. You have to take all of that. So why not start doing them now? Get a year ahead. That's like a huge push for our kids. And when they hear that, they're like, really? I can get a year ahead? I can get a full year of college tuition paid for? And that's one of our biggest drives. Why not?
I'd also like to share another father experience. Those of you who have begun the college search, you may have read literature. Some very good universities bragging that 75% of their students graduate in 6 years or less, a 4-year degree. Hang on a second.
Wait, what? Did you say that? I'm confused.
So, if you want to save money, get a 4-year degree in 4 years. Be prepared when you go to university to undertake a rigorous course of study in 4 years. That's all I'll say about that, but I'll say more in future meetings.
No, I just have one comment, because I wasn't in the IB diploma special rate program or anything, but I took a number of AP classes in high school. I didn't get the AP credits per se, but once I entered college, the courses were a refresher. So the experience in high school just prepared me for that course load. And pretty much every class that I took in high school that was an AP class, I got a 90 or higher in the college course, which was pretty much an A minus. So, and the coursework was just easier, and my freshman year was simpler, and I got more accustomed to all the classes, so I didn't have to struggle for it.
You just described my son's experience. My daughter earned a full diploma. My son took 6 IB courses, but chose not to earn the IB diploma. But when he got to school, he said it very succinctly. I didn't sweat papers. I didn't sweat big assignments. I didn't sweat time management. And I'm proud to say that he graduated a 5-year program in 4 years, including internships.
Any other questions?
So somebody who's
And he's a regular boy, by the way.
Sorry.
That's okay. So for someone who is, taking some advanced classes at the moment, right? Who they're sophomores or going into, looking into doing the honors program or whatnot. So would it be beneficial for them to stay in that course or go for the IB program, or that should be a discussion between the parents and like the counselors?
That's got to be, yeah, so for me, I encourage all students to try to at least take one course of IB. However, that is a conversation that their scholars need to have with their parents. When students are signing on to IB, like Mr. Galvan said, or the parents are signing on as well. It's a writing-intensive course, but our students can do it. So they're going to get the choice. Maybe they want to do AP and IB. The only thing with IB is that it is your whole entire day. So if you do your IB DP, you're locked in for the full IB DP for both your junior and senior year. So there is no room, if you're doing the full IB DP, to take any honors or AP courses or anything else like that. However, it's a student-by-student basis. It's an individual basis that we're going to have to look into each student based on what they have, what they currently have on their transcript, and based on where they want to go for their future career and future pathway. Our students, every single student in this building is unique, and every single student brings something different to the table. No two students are alike. I will tell you that from my 15 years of being here, I haven't had two students that I can even say are the same. And that's what makes us Westbury, that's what makes us global citizens, that's what makes us individually who we are. So we want to embrace students and who they are and create the pathways for them individually.
And we have support here in making those decisions. Again.
There have been so many positives about joining the IB, but are there really any downsides, any missed opportunities from joining the IB?
So I will share something with you. It's writing intensive. Some people say, oh, it's writing intensive, I don't really want to write, but I'm going to be honest with you, you said it perfectly. We write, and we're able to explore more opportunities, research more, understand how to learn, and also prepare for college and career readiness. But that's one of the biggest things that we get. That's one of the biggest feedbacks that I've gotten is the writing process. So that's one of the downfalls. But if a student wants to, for instance, stay in ROTC, that's a conversation that we can definitely have. If a student wants to stay in band, that's a conversation that we can have. So there's different conversations that are going to be going on. But I wouldn't say there's going to be any missed opportunities. Students can actually take their CCLC, there's the program here, it's called CCLC, and they can actually apply that to their CAS. They can go and participate in sports. That can go towards their CAS experience. So everything that our students and scholars are currently doing, that can go and tie into the IB diploma program.
I would say that part of the internationalness of the IB program is that there is a bit more of an emphasis on writing, and there may be folks in the audience who had the experience of being in a British or a French system, whether come from the islands or elsewhere. These systems are their approach to assessment are much more writing intensive as opposed to multiple choice that we experience a lot in the U.S. system. It's not to say there aren't multiple choice aspects of the assessments, but as a rule of thumb, thinking in whatever the discipline is a writing process. And as a piece of information, each of the IB courses, including the art course, has a kind of writing component, whether it's a reflective component or a short research type writing project and a math class, for example. So there is a writing component to all of the IB courses, and that writing component exists because it's more in line with some of the educational systems around the world. Just bearing in mind that this is an international diploma and an international program.
Thank you. No, it's okay. Take your time.
Okay, so for the DP, of course, they'll have a diploma IB. But those who do the experience, will they have, I know they'll have a diploma, they have a designation on their transcript or something that says that
They will have it on their transcript, but they will also get course certificates. Each course will have a certificate. Also, as we push towards our district SEL themes, everybody knows about our social emotional learning themes, we're big on journaling in IB. One of the biggest things is having that reflection piece, just to speak to that as well, reflection on their artwork, reflection on their music pieces, reflection on the different things they're doing. So that's another piece to that as well.
like during the day, or that they already have the same periods, it's just, right?
Yes, so it'll be a 1 through 8 day. What it'll do is each group, there's 6 different groups, each group will be 1 period. So each course will be 1 period. They'll have a lunch, and then they'll have their theory of knowledge class every other day.
And it will be within the building, it won't be like in a separate
Nope,
section of the building?
nope, it'll be here in the building.
And last but not least.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry, just a question from me as a parent. The teachers, I know you guys are training the teachers, are they more staff, they've been trained? Will they be more, like teachers hired? I mean, like, is that taken away from any other like, schedules, or, I just want to make sure, like, are there more teachers hired for the other program, like during the day, or?
So as for the training piece, I'm going to speak to the training piece, but the training piece, we are going to continuously train teachers. The more the merrier. Our idea is we don't want to create an isolated group of just IB students. This needs to be, Westbury High School is an IB world school, which means everybody needs to be on the same platform. We all need to be utilizing the IB Learner Profile. So this is something that's going to take a transition process and a transition period, but our idea is to get as many staff trained as possible so that we can all be on the same platform.
I would also, this is for work further down the road. So we will build our IB capacity with our own teachers, so there are different levels of IB training. Our teachers have had level 1 training. Those teachers eventually will have another level of training. Of course, that makes sense to get after they've already had some lived experience in the course. So there are layers, and this was mentioned early on. They don't give you the keys to an IB program and then kind of let you go. There's a 5-year review cycle. So every 5 years, our program will be, to use an uncomfortable expression, externally audited. There will be another visitation. There will be an IB visitation to see where we are in our evolution as an IB school. But the upside of being part of an IB, in terms of our teacher colleagues, the upside of being part of a global school, this global network, is that it's a generous global network. Their resources are global. The teachers who are teaching IB courses, and I think many of our teachers shared this experience, are generous with their resources, are generous with their knowledge, are generous with their experiences, are generous with their curriculum tools. So they've not only received specific training, but they've been welcomed to a global community of teachers.
Any other questions? Maybe?
Ms. O'Leary? By the way, pleased to have both of our family and community liaisons here for this, Ms. Sylvain and Ms. Lyons.
So, as we continue this process, we do want to keep you guys informed. So please make sure, as we make our way out, first to help yourself to some more cookies, because I definitely don't want to take them home, please. Cookies and coffee. And then please also, there's pamphlets, flyers on TOK, on the CAS, and also for the extended essay. And I am always open to suggestions, always open to community input. So please, my email is always open. It goes right to my phone. But please, please, please do me a favor. Email me any questions that you may have, even if you think they're small and you're like, really, do I need to, should I ask this, please, I am really, really open to answering all of your questions, okay? If you did not join, I'm gonna leave this up here, so if you would like to take a picture of it, please, more than welcome. I will also post this presentation for our students inside of the Google Classroom, and I will also post this presentation on the website. Please remember, if you go into the Westbury Schools website, there is a section that says academics. If you scroll down, it says International Baccalaureate, and that also has my email, and we'll have the links as well. So I will post that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for your support and your encouragement.
Wonderful to see you. I look forward to seeing you again.